From the High Definition Production Center of Troy University's Broadcast and Digital Network at Troy, Alabama's International University, this is Troy TrojanVision News.
Hello and welcome to Troy TrojanVision News for February 15, 2018. I'm Paige Weeks.
And I'm Lauren Harkson. Thank you for joining us this evening. Frederick Douglass's impact on American civil rights is well known, and much of his work came through his words, and those words were part of a project Troy students helped with on Wednesday. Lydia Williams has the story.
While most students are showing love for each other on Valentine's Day, the Writing Center in Eldridge Hall is showing their love for history with a Transcribe-a-thon event honoring Frederick Douglass in a different way.
Douglass Day is a national event that has been going on for at least 100 years. And it's a day when we celebrate on February 14th Frederick Douglass's life and legacy.
Due to Frederick Douglass being born into bondage, the Color Conventions Project decided to pay tribute to Douglass on the day which he celebrated his birthday by starting a nationwide event that allows people to transcribe documents from the Freedoms Bureau archives at the Smithsonian Institution.
We are celebrating Frederick Douglass's birthday by transcribing documents using the Smithsonian program. I'm helping the students that are coming in, and I'm helping them set up an account and showing them how to start transcribing the documents.
Students collaborated together to transcribe the documents.
What we did is that we got in a group of 3 or 4, and we all read his original document, and we all read each line, transcribed it, and then submitted what we thought that it meant to the National Archive.
Troy University is one of 60 sites to host the Transcribe-a-thon event and 1 out of 2 in the state of Alabama. Lydia Williams, Troy TrojanVision News.
Wednesday would have been Douglass's 200th birthday. He was born on February 14th, 1818.
The President of the United States is often considered to be the most powerful leader in the world. But what are the limits to presidential power? This topic was on the minds of Troy University students during their lunch hour on Wednesday. Can the President of the United States order a nuclear strike? How much power does the President have? These were the questions being asked in Wednesday's Talk of Troy meeting. Students and faculty members met to discuss presidential power and its limits.
One of the critical parts of governance in a democracy is that you have informed decision makers at the level of the voter. The more people know, I think the better decisions and the better accountable political actors can be held.
According to Todd Hunter, one reason for Americans' lack of government and political understanding may stem from a complicated constitution. A lot of the Constitution and subsequent laws don't provide concrete answers for the problems that we have and the questions about things like executive power. An understanding of government and its subsequential power can be beneficial not only to political science majors, but every major as well. Whatever industry you work in or whatever career you choose is going to be affected by federal law. Talk of Troy offers students a chance to not only learn about government, but also strengthen their own arguments and ideas.
I like the fact that we have a teacher, like an expert on the field, that comes and explains so we can be sure about our arguments, or at least what we learned in the past. And then it's very interesting to share our thought and idea on the current events. The exact date of the next Talk of Troy has not been determined, but they will meet again next month. While Troy University is known as Alabama's International University, this week it became known for some international cuisine.
Troy Dining welcomed a visiting chef from Finland to share some of his native tastes. Chelsea Law has the story.
Wednesday afternoon, Troy faculty and staff members got to enjoy a meal prepared by a Finnish chef that had majority of them finishing their plates. Chef Lassi Henninen was on Troy's campus showing off his culinary skills through a global culinary program that Sodexo and Troy University uses.
It's an internal program to where folks will apply for the global chef positions, and through our resources, our resource team, they'll pick and choose which accounts. A lot of times it's just a luck of the draw of who we actually are able to grab.
Some of the items that were on the menu, such as venison, may be familiar but not readily available in a restaurant. Others were items that you may find every day on both an American and Finnish plate.
You know, I think a lot of it is when you look at a geographical area like Finland, it's a lot of comfort foods. It's a lot of heavier foods. There's a lot of mashed potatoes, a lot of root vegetables, which is native to their land. So we see a lot of that here.
One of the favorite dishes amongst the guests was...
It's a close tie between the venison and the salmon, but the soup was amazing.
Probably the mushroom soup.
If you missed out on the dish and want to try it, or if you're craving some more of it, then Chef Bilbo may have some good news for you.
No, we definitely want to introduce them back onto the menu. Now that especially as he's been able to showcase and folks can put a face to a name, that as we run his wild forest mushroom soup, we'll definitely disclose that it's Chef Lassie, our global chef. And we'll try and run it, we'll definitely run it for 12 months, maybe even longer, as long as the acceptability factor is there. Folks are still enjoying that great product.
The next global chef has yet to be chosen, but faculty and staff members will still be able to dine in and hopefully enjoy a meal by our on-campus chefs. Chelsea Law, Troy, TrojanVision News.
Heinonen was visiting from JAMK University of Applied Sciences in Finland.
Now, the latest in Trojan sports on Troy TrojanVision News.
Good evening and welcome to TrojanVision Sports. I'm Antonio Reese. Starting things off on the diamond, the softball team took on the number 12 ranked Auburn Tigers at home. Going into the game, both teams were undefeated. However, the Tigers will come out with a 5-0 win and giving the Trojans their first loss on the season. The Troy softball team started off the season hot in the Troy University tournament, outscoring their three opponents 23-1. However, on Wednesday night, their game streak came to an end as the Tigers of Auburn defeated the Trojans 5-0. Coach Mullins discusses how she's not too keen of losses. However, she did take away some positive notes from Wednesday night's game.
Well, I mean, I think the positives are we kept fighting despite the fact we had a kind of a rough first inning. I don't think we did a very good job of coming out and being on the attack, but our pitchers did a really good job of settling in. Like Claire, I thought, threw a great game after that, and then Peyton Glover came in and, put up a 0. So really good. And then our hitters, that's one of the best pitching staffs we'll probably face all year. And, we struggled at the beginning, but we put some hits together and we hit some really good balls right at people. So, we fought, and that's one thing we want to be is tough, and I thought the girls were tough.
One player credits the team's pitching unit for playing a crucial role in only holding the ranked Tigers to just a 5-run game.
We played really well. Our pitchers threw a really good game. They held them to 5 runs, which is really good, and we've made adjustments at the plate. We just couldn't get it a run across the board.
Looking ahead on the season, Coach Mullins discusses that with each competitor on their schedule, her team can only continue to improve.
The better competition we play, the better that's going to make us. So, Auburn's a really quality team with a great pitching staff and great defense, and so, every pitching staff we see is going to make us a little bit better for when conference comes.
Antonio Reese, Troy, TrojanVision News. The Trojans will be back in action this weekend when they take on the Montana Grizzlies in the Hillbrand Invitational in Arizona starting on Friday. Pitching things over to Riddle Pace, the Trojans are preparing to host UT Martin as they begin their 2018 season. The baseball team, of course. The two teams will compete 4 times over the weekend. Assistant coach Brad Phillips discusses the meaning behind opening at home for the 9th straight year.
Always good to be home at Riddle Pace, opening the season, expecting a good crowd. Hopefully the weather's going to be nice. You never know this time of year. But really hoping for a good crowd, letting the guys, kind of get their feet wet in the 2018 season at home. Got a tough stretch coming up after UT Martin, which, I'm sure UT Martin's going to, not be an easy feat in itself, but we have Auburn midweek, and then we go to Tallahassee, so it's very important for us to get off to a good start opening weekend.
First pitch for opening night is set for 6 p.m. in Riddle Pace on Friday. Bouncing over to Conway, South Carolina, where the Trojan women's basketball team are taking on the Chanticleers of Coastal Carolina. They look to continue their current winning streak. The Trojans are at 6 in a row and looking for number 7 tonight in South Carolina. The Trojan men's basketball team is also on a winning streak, sitting at 3 games after defeating the Arkansas State Red Wolves, and are looking to make it 4 tonight in Conway, South Carolina as well. Tip-off is set for 6:30 p.m., and the game will be broadcasted on the Troy Sports Radio Network.